Daphne the alpaca came nose to nose with King Charles, it seems the woolly fan left his manners at home.
Without the phone.
Standing as the great King of England at the age of 73, it's easy to imagine that King Charles III lives quite a boring life. But hold on to your horses because you could not be more wrong. Amidst this misconception, a shocking new video of King Charles is making rounds on the internet, and the reason for this is even more astonishing. What has the King of England done again to gain so much attention, and why is it causing such a stir on social media? If you're curious, join us as we reveal the new video of King Charles that's currently going viral. King Charles going viral for shocking reasons. In September 2022, King Charles III was crowned King of England after the passing of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II.
I here present unto you King Charles, your undoubted king. Wherefore, all you who are come this day to do your homage and service, are you willing to do the same? God save King Charles.
Of course, this was a defining moment for England as they welcomed a new leader who would push the country forward as a powerful nation. But beyond the boring ceremonial roles that come with kingship, King Charles III has proven to be even busier recently, as he has been caught in surprising situations special enough to be captured on camera and even go viral, leaving the media speechless. If you're wondering what some of these viral videos are about, the answer will leave you impressed. First off, in a recent video that has left the world reeling, King Charles was captured making a statement that has left everyone bewildered, especially for those who had thought that the 76-year-old King Charles is so caught up with his royal duties that he barely has time for frivolities like pop culture. The video has clearly caught everyone off guard, with its content posing a great topic for discussion. So let's get right into the content of the video and the reason for it in the first place. In the recent video taking the internet by storm, we see the head of the British monarchy talking about his love for Pidgin English, a modification of the English language spoken in Africa. According to him, Pidgin English has gained international recognition thanks to none other than Afrobeats. Further solidifying his claims, King Charles in the video does not hesitate to explain how he attempted to make a speech in Pidgin English when he last visited West Africa.
It also features lyrics in Pidgin, which I love in all its forms, and in which I attempted to make a speech when I last visited Nigeria.
But as interesting as all of this sounds, this is far from the most interesting part. The online community was even more shocked in the later part of the video when King Charles explained how he came about his love for Pidgin English. In this astonishing moment, King Charles revealed that he came to love Pidgin English after listening to the African pop star from Nigeria, David Adeleke, widely known as Davido.
It is by the Nigerian artist Davido and is called Kante. It also features lyrics in Pidgin, which I love in all its forms.
Making things even more interesting, King Charles further spoke about Davido's song, explaining how he really enjoys the star's lyrics, a statement that no one really saw coming. But the Nigerian star, whom the British king seems to have taken a liking to, has also proven to be a great force to reckon with in the entertainment world, boasting the reputation of a 5-time Grammy nominee.
Grammy nominee and in a brand new category, man. How you feel?
Man, I feel good, man. You know, just being nominated for the first time, man. Three nominations on the first time.
This is why, while it is still interesting to see the King of England showing interest in Afrobeats, no one seems to be questioning the King's taste in music, although his recent video is still a hot topic. Speaking on the recent video, which has gained millions of views on TikTok, leadership has brought up the event of the King launching his Apple Music radio show, titled The King's Music Room. The show, as the King explained, is intended to share the songs that have brought him joy over his lifetime.
Throughout my life, music has meant a great deal to me. It has that remarkable ability to bring happy memories, comfort us in times of sadness, and to take us to distant places.
But here is where things get even more interesting. As it turns out, according to leadership, the Nigerian singer Davido happens to be the only Nigerian on the king's list. Here, Davido's music shares the platform with the late South African music legend Miriam Makeba, whose song The Click Song was also included in the playlist.
And it's a wedding song back home where I come from. It's called by the English-speaking people the Click Song, because they cannot say uqongqothwane.
Ultimately, it was a beautiful moment during the launch of the King's Music Room when the royal DJ in Buckingham Palace played Davido's song Kante, which made the playlist. The song, featuring Fave, happens to be one of the hit tracks from Davido's Grammy-nominated album Timeless, which was released in 2023. Certainly, the recent video of King Charles is not only one that shows the public the music preferences of the King of England, but also highlights that royals are normal people too, with regular passions and hobbies. But you need to know that the video of King Charles expressing his love for Afrobeats is not the only video currently going viral and leaving the public raising their eyebrows. An alpaca sneezes on King Charles. Now, it's probably hard to imagine anything going wrong on royal tours and visits, especially when it has something to do with the great King of England. But another video of King Charles, which is currently going viral, has left people with the perfect description of a royal tour gone wrong. But what do we mean by this? Let's take a quick rewind back to the beginning. It all started on a Wednesday in Canberra, Australia, where something extraordinary was about to happen, an event recorded as a souvenir. That afternoon, King Charles was on a royal tour to Canberra, Australia, and decided to say hello to his well-wishers. As expected, a great crowd of over 1,000 people gathered in honor of the king at the War Memorial, but a remarkable figure stood out among the crowd. We're talking about a white alpaca, Hefna, which was hard to ignore. While greeting other well-wishers, King Charles could not help but notice the white animal looking unique, as it was dressed like royalty with a gold crown and a suiting bow. Drawn to it, the king took a step closer to the animal to touch it and say hi. But this was when the unbelievable happened. While patting the head of Hefna, the alpaca, Hefna immediately released a sneeze, which was directed straight at the admiring King Charles, shocking everyone. But that wasn't the end.
Hefna the alpaca has come face to face with King Charles after waiting very patiently. He was finally given the opportunity to greet the king. But the moment was ruined when he sneezed on His Majesty.
Oh, Hefna.
Certainly, the crowd was clearly left in awe by what had transpired between the king and the young alpaca, but they found a way to find humor in the whole situation, laughing all the way along with King Charles himself. On his part, it was little surprise that King Charles was not offended. Known for his unique personality, King Charles has always been drawn to animals and nature. According to one of his statements in an interview, he developed a strong interest in animals and nature during his childhood. On this note, the king has been captured on several occasions, spending hours exploring the woods and gardens of Buckingham Palace, which speaks volumes about his interests. But things do not end there, as King Charles's love for animals and nature does not stop with him exploring these gardens. Over the years, the British king has also advocated for wildlife conservation, especially in places where animals are most endangered, like Africa and Asia. Using his power and influence, he has worked with organizations like the World Wildlife Fund and the International Union for Conservation of Nature, ensuring that endangered species are preserved. Despite the king's love for wildlife, Hefna, for some reason, did not react in the way everyone would have expected. Instead, it couldn't help but sneeze on royalty, making people wonder if it was an allergic reaction to King Charles himself. In the end, however, the pure moment of fascination did not escape being captured on camera, putting the hilarious event in the eyes of everyone. The video quickly went viral on social media, spreading the word about something King Charles might have rather kept secret. Remember that Hefna wasn't without his owner during the awkward scenario. On the contrary, when everything happened, Hefna's owner, Robert Fletcher, had been standing beside the alpaca. Fletcher said this wasn't the first time Hefna had met important personalities. On the contrary, Hefna was said to have met other important figures, including politicians, celebrities, and television and video hosts. But things get even more interesting when we consider what Fletcher revealed next. According to him, in previous meetings with other celebrity figures, Hefna had never sneezed. Fletcher, however, remains thankful that at least Hefna didn't spit. That's definitely a comment that has left the online community with an even bigger reaction. But when it comes to having very awkward moments on camera, ones that go viral, being sneezed on the face by an animal is far from all that King Charles has experienced. King Charles's most bizarre moments. This video would probably be incomplete if you didn't get to see a video of King Charles, which is dubbed one of his most bizarre moments on TikTok. Interestingly, the events that led to the capture of this video were not bad at all. The video was taken at a time when the king seemed to be at his kindest, personally connecting not just with his citizens, but also with children. So let's dive into the content of the video. Here, the video was captured during a royal visit to the island of Jersey in the English Channel with Queen Camilla in 2012. During the visit, King Charles, who was 65 years old at the time, then a prince, and his wife, decided to visit Granville Secondary School on the island to celebrate Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee, where things got a little bizarre. During the visit, King Charles was captured on camera inspecting a new gymnasium in the school. Interestingly enough, the gymnasium had been equipped with a rock climbing wall, which soon gained the attention of King Charles. In the footage, the world soon witnessed a rather awkward moment when King Charles decided to try his rock climbing skills right in front of the public. The result was a hilarious but heartwarming moment, with the press having ample opportunity to take several still shots and video clips. Following the event, the video would later be uploaded by a TikTok user known as the Blazing Royals on November 18th. Accompanying the video was a hilarious caption that stated "Parkour King" to describe the king's actions. Following the video posting, it didn't take long to go viral. Currently, the video has gained over 250,000 views on TikTok, over 14,000 likes, and over 400 comments from people expressing shock at the unusual royal behavior of King Charles. But it becomes even more priceless when we consider the individual reactions of the public to the video. Here, one of the commenters on TikTok explained that the video had to be one of the most bizarre moments from a royal, while another commenter exclaimed that England should come get their king. Amidst these comments, however, some commenters did not hold back from praising King Charles's rock climbing skills, stating that the old boys still got some moves. While this video of King Charles performing rock climbing has set the internet ablaze, King Charles has always been drawn to physical exercise. Throughout his life, the public has watched him participate in polo, windsurfing, and even water skiing activities. There was even a time when King Charles tried breakdancing in the 1980s, and to make things even more interesting, he recently spoke of his love for cross-country walking. Thanks to his royal engagements, it has not been surprising to see King Charles taking the opportunity to join in on whatever activities he may be observing, so we can probably say that when it comes to King Charles, there will be more to see. Princess Diana's early life and career. Princess Diana's marriage to the royal family and the controversies that trailed her life after brought her to the limelight. But she had quite an eventful life even before then. Let's delve into when and how it all started. Diana was born on the 1st of July, 1961, to Edward John Spencer, the Viscount Althorp, and Frances Ruth Burke Roche, who later became known as the Honorable Frances Shand Kidd. She was born as Diana Frances Spencer, and later became Lady Diana Spencer in 1975.
Above all, we give thanks for the life of a woman I'm so proud to be able to call my sister. The unique, the complex, the extraordinary and irreplaceable Diana, whose beauty, both internal and external, will never be extinguished from our minds.
After her father inherited the Earl Spencer title, her connection to the royal family is evident in her place of birth. Princess Diana was born at Park House, a home that her parents rented on Queen Elizabeth II's estate in Sandringham, England.
The former home of Elizabeth's head gardener on her Sandringham estate can be rented for about $400 a night next February for a minimum of 3 nights.
The royal family frequently holidayed at the neighboring Sandringham House.
London. Queen Mary left Marlborough House for Sandringham, where the royal Christmas was to be spent as a family party.
And Diana played with Princes Andrew and Edward. With such a noble background, how did Diana's early life lead to her eventual fate and controversial life? Get ready for the most epic moment of the video. Diana was the youngest daughter of her parents, and she had 2 older sisters, Jane Fellows and Sarah McCorquodale, and a younger brother, Charles Spencer, 9th Earl Spencer. She had another brother, John, but he died in infancy a year before Diana was born.
From her mother's devastating loss of a baby boy,
she was never allowed to hold her first son.
Both of her grandmothers, Cynthia Spencer and Ruth Roche, were ladies-in-waiting to Queen Mother Elizabeth. After losing John, her parents were hoping for another boy to carry on the family line, and so they didn't choose a name for a week after her birth until they settled on Diana Frances after her mother and Lady Diana Spencer, a great-aunt who was also a prospective Princess of Wales as a potential bride for Frederick, Prince of Wales. Diana was also nicknamed Dooch within the family because of her duchess-like attitude in childhood. On August 30th, 1961, Diana was baptized at St. Mary Magdalene Church, Sandringham. Despite her birth as the 3rd child and 4th born of the family, her parents still wanted a male to be their heir, and this really put a strain on their marriage, especially after Lady Althorp was sent to Harley Street clinics in London to determine the cause of her inability to produce a male heir. Her younger brother Charles would later describe this sole event as humiliating and a dreadful time for his parents. It was in fact probable that this was the root cause of their divorce.
Paul Workman now on the world's most famous couple heading for the world's most famous divorce.
Diana was 7 years old when her parents divorced, and her mother went on to marry Peter Shand Kidd in 1969. Diana still lived with her mother in London immediately after her parents' separation in 1967. But after going on holiday to her father's home during the Christmas holiday that same year, her father, Lord Althorp, refused to let his daughter return to London. Shortly after, he won custody of Diana with the support of his former mother-in-law, Lady Fermoy. In 1976, Diana's father married Rain, Countess of Dartmouth. Their step-family relationship wasn't typical. Diana didn't get along with her stepmother and often called her a bully, even pushing her downstairs once. She described her childhood as very unhappy and unstable. After her father inherited the Earl Spencer title in 1975, she became Lady Diana. The family moved from Park House to Althorp, their estate in Northamptonshire. For schooling, Diana was initially homeschooled by her governess, Gertrude Allen. Later, she attended Sillifurled Private School in King's Lynn, Norfolk, beginning her formal education there. This upbringing shaped Diana's early years, marked by family tensions and transitions. Her strained relationship with her stepmother and the move to Althorp were significant events that influenced her upbringing and perspective on life. When she was 9, she moved to Riddlesworth Hall School, an all-girls boarding school near Thetford. Later on, in 1973, she joined her sisters at West Heath Girls' School in Sevenoaks, Kent. But her academics largely suffered because of her bad performance in school, which some say is probably a result of her strained childhood and her parents' divorce and remarriage, which she largely witnessed. She even failed her O-levels twice. In spite of this, Diana stood out in terms of community service, and this outstanding spirit was recognized with an award from her school, West Heath. What she lacked in academics, she made up for in community engagement. She left West Heath when she was 16, and up until that point, her brother Charles says she was a very shy young lady. She also had great skills, including her excellent musical ability as a skilled pianist
It's a well-known story told in an unexpected way, set to music on a Broadway stage.
I choose a fresh new start.
Diana the musical is framed around the Princess of Wales' relationship with Prince Charles.
She was an excellent swimmer and diver, and she also studied ballet and tap dance. It was only academics that was not her forte. Between 1979 and 1981, Diana lived at Coleherne Court in Chelsea, London. In 1978, she started a mini-career in line with her passion for children, working as a nanny for Philippa and Jeremy Whittaker in Hampshire. She attended a finishing school in Rougemont, Switzerland for one term, but left after Easter 1978. Back in London, she shared her mother's flat with two friends from school. In London, Diana took an advanced cooking course and worked various low-paying jobs. She was a dance instructor for youth until a skiing accident caused her to miss 3 months of work. Then, she worked as a playgroup preschool assistant, did cleaning for her sister Sarah, and acted as a hostess at parties. She also babysat for the Robertsons, an American family in London, and worked as a nursery teacher's assistant at the Young England School in Pimlico. In July 1979, her mother bought her a flat at Coleherne Court as an 18th birthday present. She lived there with 3 flatmates until February 25, 1981. It's amazing how she got involved with Prince Charles after such an eventful life. Royal marriage, sons' births, and lingering controversies. Diana and Prince Charles met in 1977 in unusual circumstances.
The love story between Prince Charles and Lady Diana is particularly steeped in royal history, around which many rumors have surfaced up to this day.
As Charles was dating her sister Sarah, none of them could have imagined their future together. Charles thought she was jolly, and after his relationship with Sarah ended in 1978, they stayed friends. Diana attended Charles's 30th birthday party in Buckingham Palace in November 1978, and in January 1979, she met Charles again at a weekend shooting party at Sandringham as a guest of Queen Elizabeth II. Later in the summer of 1980, Diana and Prince Charles met again at a house party hosted by her friend Philip de Pass in New Grove. After observing her shy nature and wise way of speaking, Charles considered her a potential girlfriend, despite their 13-year age gap. While sitting on a bale of hay at a post-polo barbecue, Diana sympathized with Charles over the loss of his great-uncle, Lord Mountbatten. Her comforting words struck a nerve, and he decided to pursue a relationship with her.
It's always easy to be smart in hindsight, but when you look at this couple's soap opera of body language throughout their marriage and before their marriage.
Did her words make him fall in love? Don't miss the next scene where things get even more interesting. After this, Prince was keen to spend more time with Diana, and he invited her to Balmoral to join him and a group of friends there for a summer holiday. This delighted Diana in no small measure, as she was beginning to adore Charles. After meeting about 13 times, Prince Charles proposed to Diana. He was said to be largely influenced by his father, Prince Philip, who TD Bim in a memo to stop playing the field and get married. His father had said, "You either marry this girl or let her go." Being confused as ever, he took this to mean that his father wanted her to marry Diana, and he proposed to her on February 3, 1981, after a few months of dating at Windsor Castle. Diana was so surprised that she first thought it a joke, but it was real. Prince Charles was damn serious. The formal engagement press call was on February 24, 1981, when after Beijing asked by reporters if they are in love, Diana had replied with certainty while Charles had said, "Whatever in love means." In March 1981, Charles flew to Australia and New Zealand for 5 weeks, leaving his newly betrothed behind. She's spotted crying at Heathrow Airport upon his departure, not because she is sad, but because before he left, he had taken a phone call with Camilla Parker Bowles, his ex. Notwithstanding all these, they got married on July 39, 1981 at St. Paul's Cathedral, with 2,650 guests, and a television audience of around 750 million people watching. Charles was wary of going through with the marriage, but he didn't want to let the royal family down. It would look as though Prince Charles was more eager to find a qualified bride than to actually find a love match. Although he was struck by some of her qualities, it wasn't necessarily love, considering that he was still very much in sync with his ex-girlfriend Camilla, a major problem that would later cause much problems in the marriage. Some believe that Prince Charles married Diana because he needed someone who would fit into the royals' family requirement of a prince, and also to produce his own heirs to the royal throne. Princess Diana's problems began right on her wedding day, because the royal family is a subject of intense media attention. It comes with the status, and anyone who is getting into the royal family must be ready to face the odds. Media attention had always been on Prince Charles ever since he started dating. Every of his love interests have been a subject of scrutiny by the press on whether or not they were fit for the royal throne. Diana was not an exception, when on their wedding day, she broke tradition by omitting the word obey from her vows, and it generated a lot of attention and criticism from the media all at once, launching her first hand into one of the many trials of the royal family. After the couple's fairy tale wedding, Diana felt overwhelmed by her royal duties and the intense media coverage of nearly every aspect of her life. The many duties and the lack of affection from the prince meant that they spent little time together, and the princess was not having it easy. Due to this, in January 1982, 12 weeks into her pregnancy with William, Diana deliberately threw herself down the stairs at the Sandringham House royal residence in Norfolk, because she had eating disorder, bulimia, and was feeling so despondent and inadequate in her marriage to Charles. But the baby was unharmed. There was a ray of hope after the birth of their first son, William, on June 21, 1982, at St. Mary's Hospital in London, and Prince Charles, having attended the broth, described the experience as astonishing. The birth of their first son deepened the relationship between Diana and the prince a little. Diana experienced postpartum depression after her pregnancy with William and found the intense media attention surrounding her pregnancy difficult to bear. In 1983, when William was just 9 months old, Diana couldn't bear to leave him behind for a 6-week tour of Australia and New Zealand. She broke royal tradition by taking him along, sparking a mixed reaction from the press, from harsh criticism to applause from parts of the public. Then, on September 15, 1984, Princess Diana gave birth to Prince Harry, with Charles by her side. Interestingly, 6 weeks before Harry's birth, Charles had thought Diana was expecting a girl. When Harry, a boy, arrived instead, Diana kept it a surprise from Charles, perhaps enjoying the closeness it brought them. But Charles's disappointment over Harry's gender and his hair color strained their marriage further. Diana felt resentful, beginning a journey of secrecy and revenge. This bitterness lingered, and years later Prince William began leaking royal secrets, drawing widespread media attention. It begs the question, why did Charles break the royal rule of secrecy, and why did both sons turn away from their father? Stay tuned, the most exciting part is just around the corner. Prince William's unveiled King Charles's secrets. In the recent royal biography Endgame, written by the royal analyst Omid Scobie, secrets and explosive claims revealed in the book about King Charles, marriage to Diana, and even under his rule were attributed to have been leaked by Prince William's. Interestingly, some claim that it is due to his overambition to become king one day that he broke the sacred code of the royal family, keeping the mouth sealed and keeping secrets. The secrets released by him corroborated the many suspicions of there being a foul play surrounding the death of Princess Diana, while also adding fresh perspectives to the long-forgotten life of Princess Diana. The news was that he leaked private information about both Harry, his brother, and King Charles. Princess Diana's death had been subject to one conspiracy theory or the other, and the most apparent one was that the driver was intoxicated. But more than this, the princess's suspicion of the royal family always plotting against her during her lifetime did not help matters. During her frustrating times with the prince, she believed at some point that Charles wanted her out of the way in order to marry his true love, Camilla. So, many implied that her death might not be a natural accident after all. One major open secret of Prince Charles was his affair with Camilla Parker Bowlers, both before and after the marriage with Princess Diana. On finding out, Camilla was a bone in Camilla's throat, coupled with the loneliness, extreme media attention, and the mental health issues that Diana faced after the marriage. On the Monday before her wedding, she had discovered a beautiful bracelet her future husband intended to give to Camilla. Diana considered calling off the wedding after discovering the bracelet, which confirmed her worst suspicions about Charles's relationship with Camilla. But after lunch with her older sisters, she was persuaded otherwise, telling her that it was too late to chicken out. Tremendously unhappy in their marriage by 1986, both Charles and Diana had extramarital affairs. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Charles maintained constant communication with Camilla, who was also unhappily married to a promiscuous husband. Their affair reignited despite her troubled marriage, a fact Prince Charles admitted to his biographer Jonathan Dimbleby in 1994.
She was the villain. She was the third person in the marriage.
The villain Prince Harry is referring to is Camilla, King Charles's wife and now Queen Consort.
Meanwhile, rumors swirled that Diana had an affair with Army Captain James Hewitt, possibly in response to her own marital unhappiness. Between 1987 and 1992, their troubled marriage garnered intense media scrutiny. Diana's absence from Charles's family summer trip in 1987 sparked headlines about a royal rift. Public appearances often revealed their distant and unhappy demeanor, further fueling speculation about their relationship. The media closely followed their every move, analyzing their interactions and adding to the public's fascination with their marital struggles. What do you think about the viral videos of King Charles III? Let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Also, click the following video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it.